Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be talking about an incredibly old, but fun, weaponized vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. One that I think a lot of players underrate, and if used properly, is legitimately one of the most dangerous tools that you can find in the game. What exactly am I talking about? Well, it goes by the name of the Ruiner 2000. To get your hands on this vehicle, you're going to have to own a vehicle warehouse. And to own a vehicle warehouse, you're going to have to own an office building. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody watching today's video owns an office building. And if you don't, it'll still be one of the first purchases you make in the game. Owning a vehicle warehouse, now that's something not every single player owns. But the vehicle warehouse that I own right here is one of the cheapest. It's only like 1.5 million. And what's great about the property is there's no upgrades or anything that you need to purchase once getting the location. If you make your way into the basement level of the vehicle warehouse, this is where you will arrive to these special vehicle locations. These are all unique vehicles which can only be stored in this property. We have the Phantom Wedge, which is absolutely crucial if you want to save time on the Cayo Perico Heist Longfin setup. We've got old rocket boosting vehicles like the Rocket Voltic. This was the first vehicle in the game that featured a rocket in the game, which is pretty sick. We have the Ramp Buggy, which is still one of my favorite cars available in GTA. We've got the absolutely useless armored Boxville. And then we arrive to the Ruiner 2000. The Ruiner 2000 looks amazing. I think we can all agree it's one of the nicest looking muscle cars in the game. And it's actually pretty fast. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Ruiner 2000 is in the top 10 for top speed in the muscles category. I think it goes around 127 miles per hour. It's actually pretty impressive on its speed, and you can actually read exactly how fast it's going by the massive digital speedometer on the front of the car, which is pretty dang sick. Now, the Ruiner 2000 has homing missiles. We can see those on the bottom. It has 8 in total. So it's the least amount of homing missiles in the game. And I would assume that's because Rockstar really tried to balance this vehicle out when it was first added into Grand Theft Auto Online. But there are some very unique things going for the car. It has a jump ability, and you might say, oh, well, the Scramjet has a jump ability. Okay, well, does the Scramjet have a parachute ability? That is one thing that's very, very cool about the Ruiner, is the fact that it can parachute. I absolutely love that. The parachute, by the way, is insane on how long it can actually glide. A lot of people don't know this, but like the Ruiner can parachute from mountains like Mount Chiliad across the entire map all the way over to the city. I mean, you can see here how well this thing parachutes. It's kind of crazy. It lasts forever, and because of that, it can be very, very fun to mess around with. I mean, look at this thing. Super, super cool to use. So the Ruiner 2000, those are really its major strengths. It cannot survive any explosions, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is how the parachute mechanic works. For example, let's say I want to make it up this bridge here. If I just do a normal jump and I pull out my parachute, we can see I barely even get to the base of the bridge. But if you reverse the vehicle and you also hold back on the stick like I'm doing there, what happens is it shoves the rear of the car into the air, and then it actually allows you to get a lot more air, as we can see, which is something that a lot of players don't know. So it allows you to actually get much higher in terms of air. So I can do it again here, you know, shove the back of the Ruiner up into the air. It's just a very, very cool mechanic about this vehicle that I do find very, very exciting. And as I said, like, you can get some massive height when jumping in the Ruiner. The fact that I was able to get onto this bridge here is pretty dang epic. I can't say many vehicles would be able to do that. So now let's actually talk about the Ruiner and some of the unique things that people might not know. First of all, the homing missiles that this vehicle features are the most dangerous homing missiles in the game. They are better than the Deluxos, they are better than the Oppressor Mark IIs, they are better than the Toreadors. These homing missiles are insane. If you have a lock on something, you will destroy it. If an Oppressor Mark II doesn't have flares or it's on the cooldown, it will get demolished. And because this car can jump, it makes it very easy to just jump into the air, immediately fire a homing missile, and go back to what you were doing before. F-160 Raiju, the laser, aircraft that do not feature flares will not be able to dodge the homing missiles. The level of speed and accuracy that these have is legitimately unmatched, and anybody that's decent with using the Ruiner will fully agree in the comment section that this is not a vehicle to be messed with when it comes to that capability. You only get 8 of them, but trust me, these 8 homing missiles will not miss. Something else that's very, very cool about the Ruiner is if you register as a CEO, you have a couple CEO abilities that you can do. Obviously, you have, Securo Serve, and then in here, you have the VIP work option. For all of the VIP vehicles you own, you can start up specific things. So if you own a Ruiner 2000, you specifically have one called, where is it? It's the first one, fully loaded. Destroy all turreted vehicles using the Ruiner 2000. So if you start up missions like fully loaded, it's going to spawn a Ruiner 2000 on the map for you. And you have 3 minutes to make it to the vehicle. And then after that, you have, I think it's 20 minutes in total to mess around with this Ruiner 2000. Now here's the crazy part. This vehicle is probably the most overpowered vehicle in the game. If you're ever in a situation where you have to PvP somebody, I can tell you that this Ruiner 2000 will just laugh in your enemy's face. Obviously, we have to get to it. Let's jump over this fence really quickly, and there it is. So we have our Ruiner 2000. So you're like, what's so special about this? It's a stock Ruiner. Well, let me show you. Normally, the Ruiner 2000 cannot survive any explosions, right? If I pull out a grenade launcher here and I shoot it at this Ruiner, that's it. But this Ruiner is a little bit different. Because it's a VIP work vehicle, you're going to see that it can survive a lot more than just one explosion. I can keep shooting and shooting. It survives about 5 grenades if you're not inside of it. But if you are inside of the Ruiner, it can survive about 10 grenades and about 20 homing missiles. That is insane. This vehicle has an unlimited amount of homing missiles. So not only are you virtually indestructible, by the way, I should mention, it has a missile lock-on jammer. So nobody can fire homing missiles at you while you're using this vehicle. They have to actually manually aim on you. So you feature homing missiles in the Ruiner. You have an unlimited spammable amount. As I said, you normally have 8, but we can see here at the bottom, these are all 8 of my missiles. Once I get through the first 8, just goes right back up. I can just keep shooting these over and over and over. For 20 minutes, I have the ability to use the Ruiner 2000 like this. And while you're doing this mission, you cannot get cops. So you don't have to worry about cops trying to shoot at you. It is by far one of the dumbest vehicles in the game. When you are messing around with the Ruiner and it has this capability, it is truly insane. And as I said, the homing missiles that this vehicle features are incredibly overpowered. They do not miss. They will just obliterate anything. So usually what I recommend to do is when you're messing around with this vehicle, let's pretend, you know, you're in a public lobby, somebody's trying to blow you up. Just immediately register as a CEO if you're not already one, and start up the VIP work fully loaded. And now you have basically an indestructible vehicle. And by the way, if the Ruiner does get destroyed, the funniest part is that a new one is automatically sent out for you. So we can see here, if I destroy this Ruiner, you know, we shoot it a couple times with a explosive here. There's 2. Oh, I missed that one. 3, 4, 5. There you go. So the Ruiner gets destroyed. Look at this. Right where I was, a new one is automatically resupplied. So for 20 minutes, it automatically gives you new Ruiners if it does get destroyed over and over and over with unlimited homing missiles. It's pretty insane. And this is basically the major reason why I would recommend to get your hands on a Ruiner 2000 is because of this capability. You still feature the jump. You still feature the, you know, the ability to use your parachute. It's just crazy. You know, a lot of people look at Amani Tech vehicles and they're like, oh, you know, Amani Tech vehicles are great for free roam lobbies because you don't have to worry about being destroyed. Well, trust me, this is even better for a free roam lobby because not only do you not have to worry about being destroyed, but you have homing missiles, a jump, and a parachute. It's a little insane. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you learned a thing or two about the Ruiner, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But every now and then I like to, you know, educate some of the newer players, right? I know there's people that already know about this stuff. And those people will probably come into the comments and be like, oh my god, I already know this, why are you telling me? But at the end of the day, there's a lot of newer players who probably don't know about the older vehicles which have been in the game for 8 years at this point. And I feel like it's important to, you know, help people that might not know about these things. At the end of the day, if I'm helping just one person, at least I've done that, right? So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you did learn something, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!